Helthius had emerged from his 2-day-long study of the mirror to find the friends enjoying some rest and relaxation aboard the Unbroken Trust. Misku lumbered about and seeking a challenge in a sparring match, to which both Iolanthe and Helthius obliged. Ianfyr then approached Helthius regarding Antarius' request to construct magical traps to safeguard the mirror. The two began to plan their design as the sparring match started to garner the attention of the rest of the crew above deck. A crowd gathered as Serene once again spotted the mysterious vessel just through the fog. Serene noticed the words HMCV Winchester written on the side and set about creating a drawing of the ship with new detail. Ianfyr began to take bets on the sparring match as Helthius climbed toward the bowsprit to get a better look at the action, but lost his footing and started to fall overboard. Welcome back to New Dalancia, our Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition campaign. I'm your host and most gracious DM, VG Punks, and let's go ahead and get started. Right, this calls for a little bit of music. This is the Sea of Moving Ice from Tabletop Audio. All right, so when we left off, Helthius had just failed his dexterity check to see if he could actually traverse the bowsprit, and actually critical failed it, rolled a 1. So yeah, he's falling.
Do any of us notice this?
I'd say yeah, you all. Well, actually, you know what? Let's go ahead and have everyone roll a perception check. Everybody that's above deck current. The 19 from Misku. 19 from Ianfyr. Crit fail from Tess.
Tess doesn't hear shit.
Tess didn't hear
Which
shit.
is a shame because she's the closest, but you know, the waves and the excitement.
Also, the reminder of the food from earlier.
Yeah, she's like, I'm just gonna look away from this.
Iolanthe, did you want to go ahead and roll a perception?
I'm gonna say that as a bear, I'm more focused on the target in front of me.
That's fair. All right. Misku and Ianfyr, you guys probably both catch this just off, just kind of through your peripheral vision.
Oh, I'm gonna so I'm gonna see him over there, and as he's falling, go, what the?
Yeah, so Helthius kind of like slips on the bowsprit. Let's see, this was a critical fail, so yeah, he just kind of falls overboard into the drink.
Is he any closer to actually like hopping in, do you think?
I don't know.
Okay.
But he is in the water at this point, and he is now moving fast underneath the boat, pretty much getting keel hauled here without the rope tied to him and all. If you move quick, you might be able to, get an action in there.
Is there any rope? Oh, is there any rope nearby?
Oh, tons.
Zooming,
Yeah, like everywhere. There's a lot of rope.
I guess I would try to find some rope to throw overboard to try and pull him in.
It depends on how, because normally our movement speed is like 30 feet, like unless we want to run, and then that would be like, what is it, 60 feet?
Yeah, it'd be 60 feet for dashing.
Specifically because I would need to get at least within 60 feet of him, and like I don't know that I could cover it in the without dashing to the thing, and then that might take another round in order to try to save him.
Yeah,
That's
my movement speed is actually 40 feet, and I do have extra turns from being enraged, I believe.
okay.
So
Well, actually, 30 feet would put me next to Tess. How far away does that put me from? I could just hit him. All right, so yeah, Ianfyr will kind of run up, seeing him fall, and this looks like it's really cold weather.
Yes, yeah, it's freezing. There are icebergs. I'd
Ianfyr is
say
gonna give,
it's cold.
yeah, Ianfyr is gonna give a heavy sigh and say, "Always got to be something with this guy," and he's gonna attempt to cast polymorph on him.
Okay. What are we attempting to polymorph him into?
We're gonna polymorph him into a seal.
Okay, go ahead and link your polymorph.
This is a fourth level
Fourth
spell.
level spell, which invokes your Wild Magic Surge. Go ahead and roll for Wild Magic Surge. Okay, sorry, had to send the links. I forgot to link that in the chat. Woohoo, a 6, okay. So let me do a little bit of math here, because I don't really have this down yet. I should make a macro for you. That would be a good thing to do. That's a pass.
So yeah, he will attempt to be turned into a seal, and it lasts for the length of 1 hour.
All right, so for 1 hour, he will be a seal. One moment. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Getting around sometimes can be.
Oh wow, that's interesting. I didn't even read that part. So if it succeeds, then his game statistics, including mental ability scores, are replaced by the statistics of the chosen beast.
Oh man.
Oh, I don't have a monster for seal.
Because I would assume that if there was one, it would be a challenge rating less than what his is.
Oh yeah, yeah.
How about?
We've got polar bear. That might be helpful. Maybe.
But- Hmm.
No, you know what? We're gonna do seal. I'm just gonna have to kind of fudge it. Seal should be fine. So you go ahead and polymorph him into a seal.
So when he slips down, he suddenly transforms into a seal, and he'll just slide gracefully into the water. But now we'll have to try to pick him up that way.
Yeah, I'm not sure how well a rope is going to help with a semi-wild seal trying to dive.
But he does maintain his well, sense, I guess, is the word I'm looking for. I'm having a lot of trouble with words today. I just can't even.
So he's got common sense, but he's got the instincts of a wild animal. Is that correct?
I don't even know if the instincts would technically
The
be
target's
there.
game statistics, including mental ability scores, are replaced by the statistics of the chosen beast. It pertains to its alignment and personality.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I see.
The creature is limited in the actions it can perform by the nature of its new form, so it can't speak, cast spells, or take any other actions that require hands or speech.
Okay.
Like to give something, or Tess would like to give something a try.
What's that?
With a little pinch of dust and some of the water that she has on hand, she can attempt a control water.
Okay.
Specifically, the redirect flow is what I'm interested in here, because the water... Hang on, where is it? It can move up walls or in other unlikely directions. So Tess would be trying to create basically a water spout that would like shoot the seal up out of the water and onto the boat.
Nice.
All right. Yeah, no, that works perfect. Let's see what we need to do to
I
make
see.
that happen.
I think it's got a range of 300 feet.
300 feet? Yeah, that.
Wrong thing.
Yeah, I'm seeing that. 300 feet.
Yeah. And I think that, I mean, we're definitely within range to try and get that done.
All right, go ahead and, well, I guess you don't really have to roll anything. And although this would be an unwilling target, I'm going to say he probably doesn't have the ability to try to save versus strength to get out of it, being in, number one, a free fall, and two, being in the midst of a polymorph. Just in case this doesn't work.
What we will need to probably prepare for, Misku, is when a seal is brought out of the water, they tend to panic a little bit, so we might need that rope.
Or I could just grapple a seal.
Yeah.
Yeah, or
Yeah,
if
just
you just
grab-
want to
just
grapple
grab
the
it down.
seal, just go for it. But I'm going to say that Tess is going to, in a panic, she's going to step forward and kind of sigh, and then start doing her little vocal incantation while pulling some dust out of her pocket, mixing it with some of the water, and then she's going to try to raise a spout of water up for the seal to pull him out.
Alrighty. One moment, please.
Iolanthe, are you back?
Yes.
Cool. I saw that Foundry booted you.
Yeah, I was like, let me sneak my way back in before it comes to my turn.
All right, the water spout takes place. We'll say that it throws him just right about on deck there, as the ship is passing underneath. Yeah. Yeah, he is a.
It looks... Is he a crab?
I didn't have a seal, but I had a crab, so Healthiest is feeling a bit crabby today.
I'm imagining Misku like full on
Pinch.
bodying and grappling a tiny crab on the fucking ship.
Crab battle.
He's dazed. He's dazed, and he does kind of go into a flit of panic as he's like trying to kind of get his bearings and figure out what the hell's going on.
All right, I'm gonna crab grapple.
All right. Oh, and also,
Right up out of the
I
water.
see.
We doing
So-
some SeaWorld's acrobatics.
Yeah, you would need the Icewind Dale book in order to get to seals.
yeah, I'll have to grab that at some scoop that up at some point. Ugh. Can't even talk today. What's going on with me? All right, so we have a strength ability check. We're gonna have healthiest roll because he's in a panic with disadvantage.
Well, that and
He's
he's
not gonna
probably
turn
not
out.
used to having flippers.
I can only imagine the dreaded ooh noises that the seal is making.
Just
Wish
gonna
I'd known
scruff
that
him.
seal. I don't know if I have anything more appropriate for that. I'd have to like sift through. Cool. Well, I'd say mission accomplished there. You saved Healthiest's life.
Yeah, he probably wouldn't have lasted very long in that cold water. In fact,
Yeah,
he's
well,
probably
especially-
got a good chance of being sick if he did touch the water.
gonna say like there would have been the impact, like first the damage from impact against really cold water from that height.
The hypothermia starts to set in.
So yeah, we've got him grappled back down. So
Yeah, he's okay. He's you know, panicked, but
Someone throw
otherwise
him a
none the worse
fish.
for wear.
So I'm gonna just drag Seal Healthiest back by this, like holding him by the scruff, like not dragging him, but it's just kind of lifted.
All right. Kind of plop him there for right now.
Misku is just kind of holding him and looks at him, looks around, just kind of like, I don't know what to do with this.
Are you holding him bridal style? Like cradled in your arms?
You know what? Sure.
All the crowd's looking on. They're kind of cheering as they all watched you save his life.
Tess looks to Ianfyr and just kind of lets out a relieved sigh. Very quick thinking on your part, Ianfyr.
well, I'll be honest. I was gonna try to save him by floating him in the air, but I figured this would have been easier.
Tess would have to agree.
Bear Iolanthe sniffs at Seal Healthiest really curiously.
No, that is not for eating. Perhaps our seal friend would be better down below deck while he tries to recover.
That, or we could take him to the captain's quarters.
Misku's just gonna walk over to Ianfyr and dump this seal in his arms.
Well, I certainly don't have the strength to hold him, so let him flop on the deck.
How did he change?
Yeah, I changed him to a seahorse. It was a little bit closer than crab.
That's
Yeah,
a
he's just-
seahorse?
Yeah, I mean, it's all I've got, so.
A very evil-looking seahorse.
He's an Angie seahorse.
I thought it was a shrimp at first.
Yeah, I had to zoom in all the way in order to see it.
Yeah, that's about all I have. I'm gonna have to pick up that Icewind Dale book. All right. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and send Healthiest to the somewhere else space while he recovers.
Yeah, he's got to recover and warm up before he gets all sick.
Misku's gonna wipe the seal off her hands onto her robes and shaking her head, she's looking down going, this is not the animal I signed up to grapple today.
Tess is gonna like reach up. I'm very much assuming Misku is taller than Tess. She's gonna reach up and kind of like clap her hand on Misku's shoulder and say, "Great job! Now get out there and fight that bear."
Thanks, coach.
All right, everybody take your positions and let me get some good music. Open ocean. And did that work? Oh yeah, that worked. Okay, perfect. All right, so combat is begun, and we start with Iolanthe. Oh, right. So I should probably go over the rules of this real quick here. If you guys are not actually trying to kill each other, then all of your hits will do half damage. And once you, I believe it's once you reach half of your HP, you fall unconscious or something like that. Or once you reach Yeah, it's like once you reach half of your HP, you fall unconscious. So we'll just go with those rules. I think that'll work out pretty well.
So
Okay.
I do have a question. Since I am enraged, I'm already getting resistance to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing. Would that be further halved by non-lethal damage, or?
That's correct.
Okay.
All right.
Tess will be standing here in case of an emergency.
All right, Iolanthe, you are up first.
Okay. So we're just okay.
You can use all of your attacks as normal.
Okay.
But like I said, to do non-lethal damage with set attacks, they only do half damage. So the goal is to bring your opponent down to half of their HP.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, I don't guess that worked.
So basically, each turn you can do one attack with your bite and one attack with your claws.
Yeah, I'm trying to find how to roll the attack on the bear's character sheet instead of on mine.
So if you go to inventory,
Oh, here we go. Okay. Okay, thank you.
yeah, there you go. You have bite and claws there.
All right. Well, Iolanthe kind of circles around a little bit and then drops down onto all four paws and charges at Misku with a bite attack, which I guess in story mode would be more like a headbutt or something because she doesn't actually want to bite.
Yeah, that's perfectly fine.
That's the inventory. There you go.
Does a 15 hit?
15. It looks like it does. Rolling damage. We have an 11 divided by 2. That's divided by 2 and rounded down. So that would be
5.
Yeah, 5. And then this is a piercing attack, which I believe you have further damage resistance to, which is going to make this, what, 2?
2. Yeah.
Oh, well, dang. Okay.
This is gonna be a long fight.
It may not be that long if Misku has all that resistance, but I don't think I have any. We'll see. After doing a headbutt, then Iolanthe will rear back and let out a mighty roar and do a couple of bap bap attacks.
Bat.
Oh, okay. So apparently I can't update D&D Beyond. That sucks. All right, an attack roll of 14 also hits.
Woof.
So that's a 7. 7 divided by 2.
3.
That's going to be 3. 3 divided by 2 once again because it's slashing, which he has,
So 1.
which Misku has resistance to. So yeah, 1 damage.
And then that's it.
All right, there's a 1 damage there. All right, now remember, you're only trying to get them down to half health. So even though that may not seem like much damage, like really in the greater scheme of things, you actually are doing some decent work. All right, back to the combat tracker, and Misku, you are up next.
All right, Misku is. Where is it? I just had it up. Misku's gonna make a grapple check.
All right.
Do I need to roll something in return?
One moment here. Okay,
I'll
so
be
you're
right
using
back momentarily.
Right, so that can be either a strength or athletics check. Then Misku is rolling with advantage on that, so let me take a look at your stuff here. Okay. So yes, you will want to roll either an athletics or an acrobatics check. Either one, you get to choose on that.
I think you rolled a 20. It looks like.
Okay. So Iolanthe, that means you are currently grappled with a roll of 14 against a 22.
Okay.
Go ahead and assign that. All right, we're adding the restrained. Let's see here. So in order to escape the grapple, let's see. So you can use an action, regular action, to escape the grapple. To do so, you must succeed on an athletics or an acrobatics check contested by the grappler's athletics check.
Okay. Am I rolling that at a disadvantage or?
No, you're not. Just a regular.
Okay, so that is the first of my actions for this turn. I am gonna go ahead. So Misku takes a step back and then dashes in really low and thrusts her palms up underneath Eulanthe's bare armpits to engage a grapple. And I'm gonna where'd it go? I just had it. Actions. Nope. Oh, my screen's all messed up. It's not giving me all my actions on here right now. Sorry, 1 second. Try and close my sheet and open it back up again.
Oh, weird.
Is that grapple icon an octopus?
It's like a net.
Oh.
There we go.
You
I'm
should
gonna
ahead and try to pin a creature grappled by you by making another grapple check. If you succeed, you and the creature are both restrained until the grapple ends. Okay. Interesting. Okay. Okay, so Misku, you have rolled a 20 on your grapple check. Go ahead and Iolanthe, go ahead and roll either another athletic skill check or a acrobatic skill check. Sorry.
Okay. Jesus Christ, these rolls.
Uh,
At least it wasn't a
Iolanthe,
one.
just so you know, you have expertise in acrobatics, which means that you would add your proficiency score twice to it.
With a low of 75 degrees.
I'm sorry, my Alexa suddenly started talking to me for some weird reasons. What was that again?
Your acrobatics, you have expertise in acrobatics in your current form. You can actually, if you were to roll acrobatics, you would add your proficiency modifier twice, so you could probably get a higher roll out of it. Just so you know.
Okay.
That's what the if you see a double check next to a proficiency, that means that you have expertise in it.
Oh, gotcha.
Cool. Well, with an 11, that does fail, so that means that both of you are restrained.
All right, and I would like to use my final action this turn to deliver a headbutt to the bear. So Misku, with her arms or their hands up under the bear armpits, she's gonna try to trip the bear and knock it off balance, and then basically just get entangled on the ground.
All right. So we're gonna try to take a trip action, is it?
Well, that's I'm describing the grappling pin.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yes.
Squish.
I'm actually not sure how to initiate an unarmed attack. I haven't done that in the system before.
In inventory, at the top for the weapons, you have an unarmed strike.
One moment here.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
Oh, I see. Okay. Okay, so just to clarify something for you, Acid, you do not have to try to escape the grapple each turn. You can still make attack actions, although you're grappled. The only thing that the grappled state does is it decreases your speed to 0, so you can't move anywhere.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I believe it also imposes disadvantage, maybe? No, it doesn't, actually. It just stops you from moving, it looks like.
It's just speed.
Yeah, it's just the speed.
I like that I have a swim speed as a bear.
Oh, of course.
Could have dove
Yeah,
in.
have you ever seen a bear swim before? They're fast.
Oh, they book it.
All right, Misku rolls a 20 on the attack roll. That looks like that is a hit. Go ahead and roll your damage.
Bonk.
All right, we've got a 3, which is going to be halved for the... Oops.
So
All right, so that's 1.
So Misku, while being tangled up with Iolanthe, rears her head back with a big grin on her face, collides her skull off Iolanthe's, and pulls away, looking significantly less excited. So she's wincing pretty hard, and she's gritting her teeth.
Like, oh no, what have I done?
All right, Iolanthe, you are up next.
And the crowd goes wild.
So okay, is Misku behind Iolanthe, or is Misku like grappling from behind?
We're face to face.
Okay. Well, first off, Iolanthe's gonna roar right in Misku's face with her horrible bear breath and spit. Just
The
cause.
bear roars in your face with its horrible breath and spit.
And then she's gonna actually headbutt right back.
All right, hold on. I feel like... Oh, yeah, I do.
Oh, nice.
Why haven't you?
Nice.
Oh, good. I love it. That just makes me so happy.
All right, what do we got?
Headbutting Misku.
Well, it's a bite attack, but since I don't actually want to use teeth, I figured it's more of a bonk.
Yep, that's fine. Go ahead and roll that. Oh, and that is
wow.
a crit. That will be double damage. Go ahead and roll it.
So this would actually be.
Okay, so we have a 7. And basically the way that would work is with the critical hit, you would multiply that by 2, but then we would divide it by 2. So that would be 14. So multiplying by 2, that would be 14 divided by 2. That would return it to 7. And then we would round that. We don't need to round that down. Do we need to round that? Well, I feel like we don't
3,
need to round
because
that down.
7.5.
Because Misku has resistance, right? Still.
Yes.
No. Oh, yes, that's right. Yeah, you would. So the resistance still applies, so that would be a 3 damage. Yeah, you're right. You're right about that. All right. All right. Looks like you've got. If you're taking the attack, you've got to go. You got to go full on. So, using your multi attack there.
Okay. So for the claw attack, she'll kind of like reach up with her paw and just kind of bop again on Misku's head.
All right, go ahead and roll it. That is a 22 hit. 16 damage. 16 divided by 2 is going to be 8. 8 divided by 2 is going to be 4 damage. Whoa.
Poor Misku is probably all disoriented now. Fish breath and headbutt, and then paw.
Head spinning.
All right, any other actions you'd like to take, Iolanthe?
No, not at the time.
All right. So we move back to Misku.
Misku's just gonna keep firing off headbutts.
All right, go ahead and roll it.
Snoot boops.
$16 is a hit. So that'd be a 3 divided by 2 is equal to 1. In this case, rounding down.
All right, I'm gonna launch 2 more headbutts.
All right.
Oof.
One of us is
10.
coming out of this with brain damage.
Unfortunately, that is a miss. So you attempt a headbutt, but the bear kind of diverts your momentum.
I'm wise to your tricks.
Misku is gonna lean her head back for the final headbutt and shout, "Don't be shy."
22, that is a hit.
Oof.
You were just not having very good luck with those today. Another 1 damage
Not a great
to
time.
Iolanthe. This one is going to take a while, huh?
Can we hear some trash talk from the crowd?
Do I have anything like that? I feel like I should.
I feel like Bagram should have something to say.
Yeah, one of them's like, and the other one's like, oh no, that was the wrong button. Go back to that other one right there.
Tess would like to take an action real quick if possible.
Yeah, what's up?
Well, I mean, this is her first time kind of watching a grappling match between a bear and a tiefling, but she's gonna kind of like yawn and then examine the surroundings of the ship and the water. I just wanted to do like a quick, I don't know if it's like a perception check that you want me to roll.
Yep, that would be a
she's
perception
basically just like kind of bored and looking around.
Go ahead and roll it. Just off the port side of the ship, you spot, fading into the fog in the distance, what looks like the silhouette of a ship.
Tess is immediately going to wake up a little bit and kind of rub her eyes. She's going to lean over to Ianfyr and say, "Is Tess crazy or do you see that?"
Hearing
Perception
that,
check, please.
yeah.
Those dice are wild. Ianfyr, you look around, but you don't see anything. But Tess does look pretty spooked.
No. I see the bear. What are you looking at?
Tess could have sworn she saw a ship off in the distance. She's gonna, like, so that she doesn't get in the way of the battle, she's gonna kind of go around this area here.
Off the bowsprit.
She's gonna kind of squeeze in between this cannon and the cannonballs and kind of like squint her eyes and stare off into the distance while the fight continues.
All right, so we had just finished Misku's turn, yeah?
Yep.
All right, Iolanthe, you are up.
All right. Iolanthe's starting to see stars, getting bonked in the head so much, so she wants to break the grapple if she can.
Okay, go ahead and roll a... Let's see. I believe...
Isn't it like strength versus strength or something like that, or athletics?
Okay. So yeah, it's either athletics or dexterity, and then contested by Misku's athletics check.
And you said that acrobatics would work too, right?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Athletics or acrobatics.
Oh, okay.
And
Yeah,
since
Contested by the grappler's athletics check.
gotcha. I didn't have very good luck with the athletics, so let's try the acrobatic.
So
I'm sorry.
We're both restrained, so we should both have disadvantage on dexterity checks.
Oh, okay.
So it looks like 14 would be the lower score. Of the
Yeah.
two.
Oh, shoot. Oh, wait, no, that nullifies. Okay. Creature has disadvantage on... Yeah, actually, that's dexterity saving throws from what I'm reading here in the rulebook.
Would that not be what this is?
Oh, right on.
Oh no,
Nope,
because this
this
isn't
is-
dexterity. This is acrobatics.
No. This would still be dexterity, but it's not a saving throw. It's an ability check. Oh, wait, not an ability check. It is a proficiency, a skill check. There we go.
Okay, well, either way, it's a 14 for me.
Okay, so we have a 14 dexterity versus a... Wait,
Misku still has to roll.
Right. Sorry.
okay. Let me...
So am I rolling this with my
Second one.
dexterity, or am I rolling this with strength, or is it...
From what I'm reading here, the grappler rolls just an athletics check.
Okay.
And I think you have something modifying your grappling that's allowing you to roll at advantage, if I remember correctly.
So, I mean, they're tied. It looks like.
Yep, that would be a tie. So let me get the tiebreaker down real quick. So the tiebreaker for these kind of bouts is to add the ability modifier for each of the rolls. So for Iolanthe's dexterity ability modifier is currently 0, and the strength modifier for Misku is currently +5, which places this in Misku's favor. So grapple not broken. Sorry, Iolanthe. All
I
right.
should have done strength.
Any other
I think that's pretty much my action, isn't it?
yeah, I believe so.
Okay, that's it for me then.
Okay. Misku, you're up.
Right. Gonna throw a good old rock and throw another headbutt.
All right.
I thought you meant you were going to actually throw a rock. Did
That is a crit.
There it is.
Get 'em.
Normally in this situation, attack rolls would have disadvantage, but since the other person is also restrained, we are nullifying that. That is a 3, so 1 damage on that.
Is it doubled because of the crit?
Oh, right, it is doubled because of the crit, so that actually would be 3. There we go. All right, here comes another headbutt. We have a 17, that also hits.
Baby damage.
1 point at a time.
Iolanthe is just getting dinked.
This is probably doing more long-term damage to Misku than it is Iolanthe.
Yeah, I was about to say, Misku's gonna come out of here not remembering colors.
But
All right, we've got a
Ugh.
9, and that is a miss. Iolanthe, you're up.
Alright, I'm gonna try to escape the grapple again.
Okay.
Try acrobatics one more time, I think. Is this a disadvantage or no?
No, this is not disadvantage.
Okay.
Oh, Healthiest. Hey.
Welcome, Healthius.
Cealtheus.
Cealtheus.
ugh.
That is a...
Yep.
Ooh. And once again,
Dang it.
Misku has maintained the grapple.
Misku strong clickbear.
Misku's struggling.
Actually, you're doing quite well. The bear, the damage that it has done is taking you down about 10. And you're almost... Yeah, it's hard to say who has the advantage at this point in the fight. All right, so Iolanthe, that ends your turn. Misku, you are up.
I'm gonna bring back the greatest hits and throw more headbutts. Oh,
Crit fail. All
Yeah,
right,
you
go
bonk
ahead.
your own head.
How does that work?
am I taking damage on this one?
So it's
Or
a
do you just
fumble.
like, or maybe you're just so dizzy you just completely miss the head altogether, and you just like, you're just
Just
your
flop
head just-
over and vomit
yeah.
down the side of the ship.
you like sort of like end up hitting it along the side of the bear and like
It really is just an automatic miss at that point.
Okay.
So we're just gonna go with that.
Misku's got little serines flying around her head. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and throw my next 2 headbutts. 1.
19 is a hit.
Some more baby damage.
Damage. Those dice need to go in dice jail.
Which is called the microwave.
The microwave. 22 is also a hit. Another 1 damage on that. All right. All right, we'd say that Iolanthe's probably starting to look a little bit wounded. All right, that takes that brings the turn back over to Iolanthe.
I would super like to get out of this grapple, but it doesn't seem like that's likely to happen, so I'm going to go ahead and attack one more time.
Yeah, it's not really imposing any kind of disadvantage on you at current. Like you just can't move. That's all.
Say either that or you could try to suplex Misku out of it.
Well, I was going to try to do that with the claw attack, but I don't know if that's something that could happen.
If you, well, I think if you were to try to do something like that, it would be at a disadvantage.
Yeah, probably.
So,
2 damage.
yeah, 2 damage on that one. This is going to be a long fight.
Okay, well, I have my claw attack still. I don't know. Can I use the claw as like a try to punch Misku off of me?
One moment.
Because like I'm not using the actual claws or teeth. We're just kind of like saying headbutts and soft paws.
Okay. One more time. What are you trying to do?
Oh, I was just gonna see if you would allow the claw attack to be used as a punch that could try to punch Misku away. And if not, just use it as a claw.
Yeah, I'm afraid not. That would constitute a another roll.
Okay,
Another roll to try to break the grapple.
that's fine. Then I will use my soft paws.
Oof.
Oof.
An 11 just barely misses.
Too soft.
You swing for Mescu's head. She's just so dizzy. She like leans her head back. Not that she was dodging. She's just out of it.
Her brain is banana pudding right now.
So as we're gonna get ready to start Misku's turn, Ianfyr is actually gonna go over by Tess and see if he can spot what she was talking about.
Go ahead and re-roll a perception check. In fact, you do see a silhouette of a ship just beyond the fog.
Hmm.
In fact, you also make out the detail that on the side of the ship are the words HMCV Winchester. Pretty big letters.
Yeah.
Also, the fog's not terribly far away from the port side of the ship here.
All right. So Ianfyr is gonna sort of look to Tess and say, "We need to head to the back."
That sounds like a plan. Let's do so without causing much of a distraction so there's no panic. She's gonna try to sneak her way across. Kind of squeezing in between people and saying, Excuse Tess, please. Please clear the way. Thank you. I just see this little
shuffling around.
I just see this little seahorse following us around.
Where's the little seahorse? I didn't see it.
It's right where Tess.
Oh yeah. So Healthiest, welcome back. You kind of slipped and fell in the drink. But Ianfyr Ianfyr polymorphed you into a seal, and then Tess created a water spout that essentially placed you back on the deck.
Okay.
However, you must remain a seal for the next hour.
We had to choose a seahorse avatar because we don't have a seal avatar currently, so just
Sadly.
play pretend.
That's okay. That's okay. That's cool. I was looking at the avatars and I'm like, where did this crab come from? Where did this other thing come from? No, I'm gonna click my normal token and it loaded and I was this little icon and I was like,
I saw
I
you
know I
moving
clicked
around
on
and
it.
you were following Tess, and I was like, I just see this little seahorse just like do 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 do. While squeezing her way through the crowd, though, Tess is going to stop next to Val. And is he wearing his cape right now, or is he in like kind of casual clothing?
He's wearing like more like a tunic and some leather like leggings.
She's gonna reach up and tug on his tunic to get his attention.
Yes.
Tess and Ianfyr spotted something. It appears to be
Ianfyr's
another
gonna
ship.
Ianfyr's gonna say, well, we spotted something and we may need to speak to the captain about it.
You may want to come with us if possible. And Tess is going to motion off the port side of the ship to see if Val also notices.
Let's have Val take a look here.
Okay.
We must warn the captain immediately. A couple of the other people kind of turn around and you start to hear like whispering among. That's a lot of whispering, guys. That's way too much.
There's a lot of whispering.
No.
They're like...
You start to see like whispering among the crew.
Not like the cat.
Valphalen's going to start taking off toward the aft castle, where you can see Antarius at the helm of the ship. Oh, you can see him.
Yeah.
From where you're standing.
But we still got to get to Misku's.
Yeah, you're not going to be able to tab to him if that's what you're trying to do.
Yeah, I was trying to spot his avatar, but yeah, Tess will be, unless we want to stay behind and create a distraction to avoid early panic in the crew.
All right, let's take another turn of combat real quick. I think we just finished with the Iolanthe, so let's move back to Misku. You are up.
All I know is headbutts.
All right, go ahead and roll it. All right, we have a 16. That is a hit. Another 1 damage. 21, also a hit.
If nothing else, Misku will be persistent.
1 damage. Is this like a D1 that you're rolling? What the hell?
It's so unarmed attack is 1 plus attack modifier. But I don't think I'm not sure if my rage will extend to that. I do get a rage bonus also, but I think that's I don't know if that's on just normal damage.
I think it would be any damage really.
Yeah, on a hit, unarmed
Can you
strike
link
deals
your
dump
rage?
bludgeoning damage
I'll be right
equal to
back.
1 plus your strength modifier.
Din's going after Artie's food.
Girl. There you
Looking for your rage information.
I mean, I can put it in chat. It'll let me.
Did I see you use that at the beginning of combat?
I used that before we left last session.
Oh yeah, I do see it up there. Advantage on strength checks and strength saving throws. You make a melee weapon attack using strength. You gain a bonus to the damage roll that increases as you gain levels as a barbarian, as shown by the rage damage column of the barbarian table. You have resistance.
Like, I know unarmed strike is listed under weapons, but it seems like that's a weird, like,
Yeah, that is kind
that's how I
of
was
weird.
implying it.
That is kind of weird wording. Let's go ahead and keep playing it like we've been
Yeah,
playing it for now.
I'm fine with that.
Cool. Okay, so we have another 3 damage.
So Misku rattles off 3 more headbutts. She's probably drooling a little bit at this point, and as soon as she delivers a 3rd headbutt, she kind of just ducks her chest in Iolanthe's like bare chest, trying to avoid more damage.
Wait, what?
Iolanthe, you're up.
Okay, I really want to get out of this grapple, so I'm going to do another acrobatics check.
Yeah, it's hard to say who has the advantage in this situation because Iolanthe has the has sort of the advantage of doing more damage per hit, whereas Misku has more hit points. So kind of hard to say. Oh, and that is a broken grapple.
Whee!
All right, you are now able to move once again. I believe that breaks the restraint for both of you. All right. And I believe that ends your turn. Misku, you are up next.
Since Misku's still within headbutt range, she's gonna attempt another headbutt.
That is a hit. Once again, 1 damage.
And you know what? 2 more unarmed strikes that aren't gonna be headbutts.
I was about to say, does Misku even remember how to do anything but headbutts?
13, that is just barely a hit.
The Misku, after the headbutt, let's say she throws a forearm.
All right.
And the last physical attack.
That one is also a hit.
Misku's gonna throw a big chop against Iolanthe.
Woo!
All right, so it took the full 3 damage this turn. Iolanthe, you are up. Or actually, let me take a moment to address the other crew members real quick. Tess and Ianfyr, you are both headed where?
So I'm gonna head up to go see the captain.
Are you taking the money that was waged with you?
Yes.
You'd have to, yeah.
Okay. Double checking on that. Tessa's gonna kind of follow suit. She's trying to act as casual as possible about it.
You climb up the stairs, and there is Antarius
Oh.
at the helm. He sees all of you kind of walk up, and he turns to you all. Is something
Awesome.
wrong?
I'll say it looks like your fears were confirmed.
The
You're
ship?
being followed.
Tess and Ianfyr spotted a ship that had the words and the letters HMCV Winchester on the side. Does that sound familiar?
Interesting. If that's the same ship that I think that it is, well, that ship's been lost at sea for years.
Oh, a ghost ship. Tess says, like,
Ghost.
almost with excitement.
Oh, I've heard such tales of ships that are not of this plane of existence, I suppose. Although I have never seen one, of course.
Do you think that they pose any danger to us?
It's hard to say. Antarius, are you sure that the letters said HMCV Winchester?
Tess is
I'm almost-
absolutely sure.
Yeah, I wasn't sure at first, but then I was able to stand over by Tess, and I found a good look at that ship, and I can agree with her.
Hmm. Antarius ponders for a moment and then turns around and whistles loudly. One of the crew members comes up. Take the helm, crewman. And steps away from the helm. As Antarius circles around you, he says, I'll be in my quarters, going to do a little bit of research on the vessel in question, and see if I can get just a bit more information. I'll meet back up with you in an hour in the galley, perhaps.
Tess will make a point to be there.
Very well. And with that, he proceeds to his quarters. This is very troubling. I suppose our first order of business should be to ensure that the crew doesn't wind up in a panic.
Perhaps we should bring attention back to the wagers for a fight like this. I'd imagine that would get everyone very excited and further distracted.
Indeed.
Quick aside, I'm sorry. I tried to tally up the amount of wagers between Misku and the bear. I came out with the bear wagers was 4 gold and 75 silver, while the Misku wager was 5 gold, 75 silver. I don't know if you're keeping notes of that, Ianfyr, but I just wanted to double check with you.
So Killjack has 1 gold, 50 silver on Misku. Rockin has 1 gold, 50 silver on Iolanthe. Poe has 1 gold on Misku. Erytra has 2 gold on Iolanthe. Healthiest has 1 gold on Iolanthe, but 2 gold on Misku. Eliza has 25 silver on Iolanthe. Bagram has 1 gold on Iolanthe. And Turid has 1 gold and 25 silver on Misku.
Yes, I completely missed out on Bagram's there. What did you say that Bagram wagered?
1 gold for Iolanthe.
1 gold. Fair. So that actually brings them up to matching. Both have wagers of 5 gold and 75 silver.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Getting back in. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt Val.
I believe I'm going to try to assist the captain in his research.
Tess thinks that Ianfyr will be able to help create a good distraction for us.
I have trust in both of you. If you require my assistance with anything, I'll be in the captain's quarters.
Yeah.
And he also proceeds to head downstairs.
Okay. Next turn, I'll probably have Tess move back to the outside area, because I think that uses up our turn for this round.
All right. Let's get back to the action. I believe we left off right after Iolanthe's turn, was it? Right after Misku's turn.
Yeah, it was my turn last.
Okay, Iolanthe, you're up next.
All right. What would I need to roll to try and throw Misku into some boxes?
That's a good question. Let me see.
Grapple.
So that would actually be a
Strength check.
shove. That would be a shove action. Let's see. So that would be an attack action. You can make a special melee attack to shove a creature, either to knock it prone or to push it away from you. If you're able to make multiple attacks with the attack action, this attack action replaces one of them. The target must be no more than one size larger than you. Okay, that all fits. Instead of making an attack roll, you will make an athletics check contested by the target's athletics or dexterity check. The target loses the ability to use. Oh, that's weird. If you win the contest, you either knock the target prone or push it 5 feet away from you.
Oh, only 5 feet? That's pretty lame.
Well, I mean, it can really be away from you. Well, yeah, it looks like it could. It can only be 5 feet away from you.
Okay.
It doesn't mention about the direction though. I'm gonna guess that it would just be backward.
Knocked him into that poor sailor behind Misku.
Oh no, did we have everyone sign waivers?
All right. What is your action?
I think I will not bother with that then, because if it's only 5 feet, then it's not really gonna do a whole lot. So I will charge forward once again with my headbutt attack. This time I'm gonna go for the torso instead of the brain, because Misku's looking a bit scrambled.
Okay.
Dirty 20.
That is a hit. And we have 13 damage divided by 2 is going to be 6, divided by 2 is going to be 3. All right.
Oh, I didn't have my push to talk button held down. I will rear back up on my back feet and do a heckin' swipe. And a miss.
Actually, that is a 12. Oh, yep, that is just barely a miss.
And then I don't
Alright.
think I have any movement, right?
Actually, you do. Yeah, you are able to move, but remember that if you move out of a melee opponent's effective range, it does provoke an attack of opportunity.
Yeah, I'll just kind of circle a little bit. Just growl. Just growling.
Okay. And that brings us to Misku.
Misku's gonna go back on the offensive.
All right, yet another attack roll. That is a hit.
Misku's gonna launch a low kick at your bare knees.
Their knees.
All right, damage calculated. We have 15. That will be a hit.
More kicks to the knee. We're working the knee right now.
All right. Nine, that is unfortunately a miss.
My third kick whiffs.
All right, let's cut back over to Tess and Ianfyr up on the aft castle. What are you guys up to?
Well, Tess would be making her way back to the crowd because the whole idea here is to avoid a potential panic from setting in. So, gonna as soon as it lets me go. Is this the correct way?
Oh, I think I have the wrong.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, I need to redraw those because I kind of redrew them in a hurry last
Oh,
time.
okay. Tess teleports back to the the excitement. She's going to approach the crowd. Stand next to this. This is a tiefling right here, right?
That's right, and her name is Eritrea.
Eritrea. Okay. Watching the excitement, Tess is going to let out a loud cheer for the bear and say, "You can do it, Iolanthe! Whoop her ass!" In the hopes that, I don't know, people will start cheering and getting more comfortable.
You do hear some of the others pipe up, like yeah, and just general like cheers.
So I know you can't cue this, obviously, especially because of like copyright. But Ianfyr is going to use his minor illusion cantrip, and he's going to create some fight music. And like in my mind, it's you're hearing essentially like from Star Trek. Remember where you have the thing between Kirk and Spock? You're basically hearing that sort of like combat music from like 60s, 70s. Yeah.
Okay, nice.
Alrighty. Back to the action. Iolanthe, I believe we closed out on your turn. Oh yeah, Healthiest, what are you up to?
I'm taking a break from my concentration for a minute to see what's the commotion is. That's
Well,
why I came up deck.
Yeah, you kind of looking over the entire situation, you see you see the crowd gathered and they're all cheering over this fight. Misku and this bear are exchanging blows. They're quite obviously trying not to kill each other, so
Okay, and who looks to be the better of the two?
who seems to be more well off, you mean?
Yeah, like
It
who's
looks like
winning?
it looks like from what you can tell, it looks like Misku is probably a bit better off. The bear looks like they're getting a bit tired.
Yay! More money for me. Kinda.
All right. Iolanthe? Iolanthe? You there?
Yeah. I want to see if I can body slam Misku.
Yeah, that's to what end?
Uh, uh,
Just like as an attack, or like are you trying to like move Misku somewhere, or
I
Knockout.
earlier I had wanted to throw Misku into the boxes, but if that's not possible with the
it would
with
be
the movement.
that would probably be several turns of the shove action, and you'd probably have to maneuver yourself around like a little bit. So it would be like taking your 5-foot step as an action or as a movement action,
Yeah.
and then making using one of your attack rolls to shove.
Nah, I think I'll just start to go on the attack. Iolanthe will let out another loud roar, and then she'll start with the claws this time.
All right. That is a hit. All right, we have 11 damage divided by 2 is going to be 5 divided by 2 is going to be 2.
I was gonna say you should try to suplex Misku. I mean, it worked against the train.
Oh.
Ooh.
I'll be
Auto
right
miss.
back.
Misku, you're up.
All right. Misku is going to. Where is it? There we go. But no, not what I want to do. Misku's gonna dash in and attempt another grapple.
Okay, so we have a roll of 14 strength ability check. So Iolanthe, you'll need to roll either an athletics or a bleh.
Yeah.
Acrobatics?
Athletics or acrobatics. Yep. Iolanthe rolls an 18. The grapple fails, Misku.
So Misku makes a dash at Iolanthe and is basically just big paw in the head. Can't reach.
Just holds up a paw and holds her head away like, no.
Misku's gonna try and hop in for another headbutt.
That is a hit. Once again with the 1 damage. We have 1 more incoming. That is also a hit. For 1 damage.
Misku's gonna deliver another chop against the bear. And that's my turn.
All right.
Something I was reading about the rage, it says it lasts for a minute.
That's right.
I was just checking to see because of how many turns we have on combat so far.
I believe turns in combat last about 2 seconds. 1 moment.
I always thought it was 6.
Yeah, that was what I thought.
Oh yeah, it is 6 seconds.
Oh crap! How many turns have we had?
Well, we're about to start round 9.
Yeah, we're about to go on round 9, so that would be.
That's about right then. I mean,
It
like,
would need to be. It would need to be 10 rounds before.
yeah, we're good.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Oof.
Iolanthe, you're up. Round 9.
Okay. Gonna do a swipe. Imagine it like ours roast, just going swipe, swipe, swipe.
Yep. 22. That is a hit. We have once again 11 damage divided by 2 is going to be 5 divided by 2 is going to be 2.
I really like these dice. Aesthetically.
All right. Now we have the bite / headbutt attack. Go ahead and roll it.
And Iolanthe will drop down to all 4 feet and do another roar, and then lean forward and bite Misku's arm, but not hard.
All right.
Soft bites.
Oh, critical hit.
Or maybe it is.
All right, go ahead and roll damage. Remember, this damage will be ×2, so we have 13 times 2 is 26. Divided by 2 is back to 13. Divided by 2 a second time is going to bring us down to 6 damage.
Hey.
Okay, let me do a little bit of calculations real quick. Just a little bit. All right, so at this point, Misku has the clear advantage. Let's go ahead and start our round 10. Or actually, I'm sorry, let's go ahead and cut over
Finish
to
round
Misku's
9.
turn. Yeah,
Yeah.
finish round 9, my bad.
Are you talking to me?
Nope, Misku.
Yep, Misku.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. All right. Misku is gonna feel the end of her energy getting close, so she's just gonna start desperately attacking with more chops.
That is a crit.
Jesus.
Okay, it's only 2 damage.
I think that's all I
Actually,
needed.
only being 2 damage brings Iolanthe down exactly to 50%. Iolanthe falls unconscious. All right, let me actually get the music taken care of here. All right, so that closes out combat. Iolanthe, sadly, is not the victor this time. The victory goes to Misku. The crowd starts cheering and booing. Some of them look rather upset that they may be losing money, and immediately everybody kind of flocks over to Ianfyr to get their payouts.
Misku pays no mind to the crowd. She'll throw both of her fists up in the air and let out a sky-shattering victory yell as she falls to her knees.
I think my bear form runs out, right?
Yeah, your bear form would run out for that. Let me unpolymorph you.
Polymorph.
Sadly,
So I'm not
healthiest.
actually unconscious, right? Just not a bear anymore? Or am I actually like flopped over dead?
No, you're not dead. You're
I mean,
just
not dead,
unconscious.
but like, well, like, am I actually unconscious? Because my half-elf form still had full health.
Yeah. Oh no. You're still going to be unconscious.
Oh, well, okay.
However, it wouldn't take very much to to bring you back to.
Misku's gonna put her hand on her knee and hoist herself up and walk over to Iolanthe and kind of just give her some little face taps to see if she can wake her up.
I'd like you to go ahead and roll. Let's make that a survival check.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll say that that rouses Iolanthe from unconsciousness. This is just kind of like, hey, wake up.
Misku, when noticing Iolanthe waking up, is gonna put one hand on her hip and the other hand's gonna reach down to help Iolanthe up. And Misku's like falling apart, like drenched in sweat. Her hair's all over the place, but she doesn't have an ounce of malice on her face.
Yeah, Iolanthe takes her hand with kind of a smirk, and she says, I knew better than to underestimate you in this form, but my bear form wasn't as cautious. And then she'll cast Cure Wounds on... I can cast now, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. Cast Cure Wounds on Misku.
Aw.
Can you go ahead and link it? Should give you the ability to roll for it.
How much is Misku down?
I'm 46 out of 71.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you were only like a few points away. Right?
Where the heck is my Cure Wounds? I have it, right?
Yeah, you would have had to have brought Misku down to 35, so you were about 11 points away.
Yeah, I had some not super great rolls.
I feel you. My dice treat me like that often as well.
It's all good. I can't find my Cure Wounds. I don't know why I don't see it.
I
I'm pretty sure I have it.
see Healing Word.
I guess that'll have to do.
I got no heals. Sorry. And I'm a seal.
The ship is guarded by a seal, by a magical seal. Yeah, I only. Oh no, I found it. It's the second one down under your first level spells. Cure wounds.
Oh, okay.
It was
Yep, go ahead
hiding.
and click cast on that. You find it?
Yeah.
Ah, perfect. All right. Then is it like if you click the healing button, it asks you what?
I don't know. It's weird that it didn't just do it.
Yeah, it should just click. Like you have to click the healing button now.
There you go.
Oh, okay. There we
There
go.
we go. Hey, 14 damage. Plus 14.
Nice.
14 healing. I'm like, surprise! I cast poison instead.
After lifting you up, Misku's gonna lean back and turn her gaze to the sky. She's gonna wipe the sweat from her brow and put both hands on her hips, just looking contemplatively, and state, "I can't go losing any more giants, so I got to keep practicing against people bigger than me." So she's gonna reach out a little fist bump to Iolanthe.
Iolanthe has no idea what a fist bump is, so she kind of awkwardly takes it and shakes it like a handshake.
Ow. It's like, ow.
So Ianfyr, everybody kind of flocks around you.
Yeah.
Money.
Misku won.
Yeah.
I still get money.
That was me asking for note-taking purposes.
Yeah. Well, we'll get to you in a bit as soon as you turn back to normal, Healthiest.
Oh man.
Oh yeah.
Back to normal. Hey, at least we saved your life.
So,
Hey, I could have survived. All I had to do was cast
Yeah.
spider climb.
yeah, when
Oh,
when Bogrum
bet.
comes up-
Oh, bet. Let us rewind then.
No.
well, so when Bogrum comes up, Ianfyr will say, "Oh, tough luck next time, Bogrum."
Brogram's kind of just leaning back against the crates, all edgy and grumbling to himself.
And Tess kind of whispers, and this is why Tess is his therapist.
All right, so we've got.
Brogram kind of like tips his hat down, covering his eyes, all edgy.
All right, so we've got Kildrak here. So you come away with 4 gold and 50 silver.
Yeah.
Kildrak cuts through the crowd to get to you, takes his earnings, and heads back to his station.
Poe, we've got you come away with 3 gold.
Poe does the same, heads back to his station.
And Turid, you come away with 3 gold and 75 silver.
Ooh, Turid loves gold, and walks off.
I love Turret so much.
And unfortunately,
Turid is
everyone
like-
else did not bet on the winner.
Except for me. I'm like,
You just kind of like put the gold on top of the seal. Like,
Well-
It's on its nose.
So Ianfyr will be like, "Oh yes, you did bet on both people, didn't you, Healthiest? So yes, you did get 6 gold. But the interesting thing about that is the price for saving your life from that fall."
We go and
And give a little
tax
sympathy
you.
grin.
Everyone on board, roll a perception check.
How do we do that? I gotta do this. Come on. Here. And then go. This is the
Ooh, Ianfyr.
Ooh, Ianfyr, your dice are treating you so well today.
What do your Ianfyr eyes see?
Fireball.
The careless
Actually, this
whispers
is-
of a good friend.
This was not a very difficult perception check, but everyone off in the distance cutting through the fog, a ship appears. It appears to be stopped and, or at least sailing much slower than you, and it appears from the forward section of the ship, and just kind of slowly, the ship starts to approach it.
This is still on the port side, right?
Yeah, it's just barely off to port, but basically, like you're en route to like pull up right next to it.
So they're actively moving in a parallel, like, is it like a parallel movement where they're like slowly kind of like inching in bit by bit?
Yeah, it's like you're gaining on it, and it's like,
And this is, so like they're technically closer to us than they were originally when Ianfyr and Tess witnessed the ship, right?
right, yes,
Okay.
quite a bit closer, in fact.
So seeing that, Tess is going to start kind of squeezing her way through. She's like kind of congratulating people on their wagers throughout. She's making her way to the back of the ship, trying to obviously get toward like Val or Antarius. I don't know how much time has progressed, because when we originally came in to talk to Antarius, he was like, meet me in the galley in an hour. How far along in that hour have we gone?
Just a few minutes. He's
Yeah. Just
still
a few
him and
minutes.
Valphalin are still in that room.
and I'm still an eel or a seal.
That's
A
correct.
seal. Yeah, that's correct. So Tess is gonna make her way
Yeah, Ianfyr's gonna
around.
make his way to the captain's cabin.
Tess does not know her way around the ship still, so she may get a little lost along the way. But yeah.
Okay, actually, that's not going to be helpful. What I just tried to do.
I see
Okay, so-
snowflakes.
So where are you headed? You're headed above deck.
I'm-
Was it, Tess?
I know that I'm supposed to meet Antarius in an hour in the galley, but I don't quite know where the captain's area is.
Oh, it looks like you went upstairs. Let me. So it's straight down.
In the very back. Yeah.
Or this door here. Yeah, either one of those doors.
Yeah, Ianfyr will also follow to go to the captain's quarters.
Okay. As you open up the door, Antarius is sitting behind a desk. The door opens and he looks up at you. Valphalin, over next to a bookshelf, is pulling various texts down from a bookshelf.
Ianfyr, would you like to step through the door first?
Yeah. So yeah, Ianfyr will go through and say, it's a lot closer now, and it appears we are about to run side by side with it.
No sooner do you say that than you hear from outside someone yell, "Cannons!"
Tessa's eyes go as wide as fucking possible because this is her first time dealing with this, so she's obviously looking very scared. Is that something Tess should be worried about?
Antarius rushes out the door before you can even finish that sentence, just brushing right by you. He is like full on like hauling ass.
We will take that as a yes.
And you hear Antarius from outside yell, "Hold!" And he puts his hand up. Valphalin turns to you. "Tess, Ianfyr, what's going on?"
ship is just pull. That ship has run parallel to us, and we are about to pull up right alongside it.
His eyes go wide. Are they attacking?
It would seem like it, as Tess has sworn that she has heard cannon fire before.
I suppose we should report to battle stations.
And I'm still seeing-
I need to don my armor.
Without another word, Tess is going to head out and back to the top deck to kind of keep an eye on where this ship is going.
Actually, before you do, Val Phelan says, I could use your assistance
With what?
putting on my armor. Sort of embarrassed.
Oh, Tess has been there before. Tess has definitely had to zip up a dress that just did not want to zip up in the back.
This is kind of like that. Val-
Ianfyr, would you like to help with dressing up Val, or shall Tess?
In a dress?
Ianfyr actually has to go grab his own armor.
Well, Tess shall help.
Was this? No, that's Ianfyr's quarters. Where the hell is... Oh, I'm sorry. I have him in the wrong spot here. That's actually Ianfyr's quarters. Val Phelan removes all of his armor and kind of lays it out, and kind of one piece at a time, you assist him in strapping on all of these like plates and stuff.
This is so many straps. Tess never saw
your
a need
quarters.
to. Tess is just one and done. We've got the cape, we've got our clothing, minimal leather armor. Good to go. This is a lot.
Just realized I have a rack in the wrong place too. There we go.
Well, I'm
Okay.
sure he can put his pants on by himself.
Yeah, this is strapping on like the
Yeah,
plate.
it's like the plate armor. Like there's nothing weird about it. It's just literally like, you know, your pauldrons, like your shoulder armor that you need to be strapped on.
Yeah, without assistance, I believe this takes a like a single
like 5 to
warrior
10
something.
minutes.
It's like 10 minutes, yeah, to like put on a full plate of a full suit of plate armor.
Yeah, so we can
Correct.
cut that probably in half or a little bit more by having Tess assist.
So am I supposed to be seeing just snow and no ship on my screen?
Yes.
Yeah. You're not gonna see the ship pull up next to it,
No,
because I
don't
have
even
the...
see our ship.
What?
I don't even see our ship. It's just snowing with a black
Okay,
screen.
let me go ahead and see if I can.
Oh, I wonder if it's because his thing is the seal, and he's still looking under.
Any change?
I was fine, and then the ship just went off screen, and then now I'm just stuck with snow.
Any change?
It's like glitching, but no.
Can you try refreshing your browser?
Okay, I'll do that again. Refresh. Oh yeah, let's take. Yeah, I mean, continue on. I was just asking a question.
Oh, this is weird. I now no longer have the seahorse. I don't know what happened to it. That's very
Where did
strange.
I
Either way.
put him? I think he's on top of one of the crates. Look on top
No.
of the crates.
I was trying. I restored your polymorph, and then I had to polymorph you back because wasn't working. But I'm not sure what happened to the icon for it. Either way, let's just we're running short on time, so let's go ahead and continue from here. Anybody else? Any actions at this point?
Ooh. Once I get the ships.
Would I be able to like dispel the polymorph,
No.
or
I don't want that.
That, which means you would, but then he would be
He straight
then
up
the-
said, "No, I want to be a seal."
well, you still could, but now he would be an unwilling target, which means you'd have to make all the rolls as though he were unwilling.
Yeah. Do that.
And restore. Let me see.
You just let me know when it's my turn.
I know Iolanthe will come over to the side and get a closer look at the ship.
Okay, go ahead and roll a perception check.
Wait, which side? You said port or?
Yeah, it's going to be port side.
Okay.
The hell's Ianfyr? There's Ianfyr. Trying to also take a look at Ianfyr's polymorph ability.
Dun, 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 dun,
I'm sorry, you said
dun,
roll
dun,
perception, right?
Yeah, you can't. Ianfyr, you roll a perception. Ianfyr, you can't cancel this spell at will. You'd have to use some other spell, like a dispel or something like that, in order to cancel it.
yeah, so I can't do anything about it anyway.
Okay.
Yay.
Yep. You are a seal for the duration for the 1 hour. Iolanthe, 28.
Question?
You actually, from your vantage point, 1 moment, Healthius. I will get right to you. Iolanthe,
No
from
worries.
your vantage point, you are able to see on the deck of the ship. It looks, the ship itself looks, what's the word I'm trying to trying to get here? It doesn't look aged or
Abandoned?
anything like that. But yes, abandoned is a good
Or
is a good one.
derelict?
You do not see anyone on the deck of the ship at all.
She kind of narrows her eyes and is like, that can't be good.
Misku is gonna walk over to her furs and just pick those up and wrap them back around her, and she's gonna go off to get a hold of her club.
1 moment here. Aha! I think I got it. Yes, I did. So you probably are right there. I don't know if you guys can see the token that's off the left side of the screen or not. Can anybody confirm that? Everyone should be able to see it. You might have to deselect your current selected token to see it.
What does it look like?
It's going
I'm
to be
sorry,
a
I
giant
lost the
ship.
ship again. No, I just have a black screen with snow again.
Try refreshing.
Again.
Yeah, I mean, there's not really anything
Well-
happening on my side.
We'll have time for that next session, I feel like, but I don't see it.
Okay, it's going to be a token way off to the left side of the screen, like in that big black area right there. Can you hit escape on your keyboard and see if you can see it? Okay, no, it's not. Okay. So of course that's not working as I intended. Let me see if I can actually like set everyone to observer.
Oh, I had to.
Yeah,
so
Even being an observer, I can't see it out in
yeah,
the black.
no, there's. I'm
Fucking shit.
out in the black and there's nothing
Yeah.
there.
Oh, you know
No,
what? I bet I
I
To the right,
honestly,
and I got the ship back.
honestly, that enemy ship is not like, in my
It's a
opinion,
ghost.
they're not like right on top of our asses. I think that maybe the first thing we should worry about outside of like all hands on deck is the mirror room. So if Ianfyr and Healthiest have something set up, they should probably go about doing that now.
Okay, question. Could I cast spells?
No,
Nope.
Nope.
you don't even have the
Oh.
ability to speak.
I do have Dispel available, but you're gonna have to
I-
come up and get Tess's attention for that.
Which spell?
I will have to do that after my action because there's something I want to do.
So, Iolanthe, you are currently the only person that is aware that there doesn't appear to be anybody actually on the ship.
Which is good for me.
Okay. Do I see? I don't see Tess or anybody, right?
No, Tessa's still currently helping Valphalin dress out.
Okay. Yolanthe's gonna make her way down the length of the ship, not really bothering to like look all casual or anything, just kind of like booking it towards the stairs. And she comes to this big group of people here and she just lets out a loud, "Move!"
Everybody kind of moves to the side.
Is that Antarius?
Yeah, Antarius moves over.
Oh, well, she actually wants him, so she comes up, skidding up to him, and she's like, she's like kind of panting a little bit because she's a little freaked and was just in a fight and everything. So she's like, there's no one there.
What do you mean?
She kind of points at at where the ship is, and she's like, there's no one on the ship. It's just a ship. There's no one there.
Sort of cocks an eyebrow. Hold your fire. The ship, the other ship, your ship, the Unbroken Trust, starts to make headway on this other ship until you kind of just pass it by. All of the other, like, it doesn't do anything. All of the other ships, or I'm sorry, all of the crew on the ship just kind of quietly watches this thing pass. And as it passes, you can all plainly see no one's on board.
My turn.
It looks like it's dead in the water.
The ship that was being attacked is dead in the water? Is that what I'm understanding correctly?
The ship, so you're passing by it right now. It looks like as though that ship is dead in the water. It's stopped. Like it's not sailing. As you approach it, Antarius says, "I'll stop." And you hear the anchor, or a couple of the sailors rush over to the what do they call that?
Sails.
No, not the sails.
The anchor wheel thing.
Yeah, I forget
The
what that's called.
capstan.
Yeah, the capstan. Thank you.
Nice.
Yeah, the capstan starts turning. You hear the chain from underneath the ship. Clunk, 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 and then finally the ship just kind of comes to a halt. The sails furl up.
Yolanthe's eyes get huge, and she's like, "What are you doing?"
The ship comes to a stop right next to the other ship.
I'd imagine Tess and Val probably feel that.
Yeah, the ship kind of rocks really hard toward the forward.
The
Okay.
seal claps its hand and goes.
Tess is going to kind of perk up, not like excitedly, but like almost like really scared because this is her first time dealing with this on the ocean.
You're kind of like in the midst of helping Val, so he has like all of his arm plates and leg plates connected at this point, or tethered to him. He takes a step over to the window and opens it up, and you can see out the window the side of the ship where it says HMCV Winchester. Iolanthe, in response to your question, "What are you doing?" Antarius turns around and he looks you right in the eye and says, "Gather a boarding party." And then he looks back at the other ship and just very stern look on his face.
Iolanthe gulps and kind of looks over to Misku.
Misku's just sitting there with her club over her shoulder and just gives an affirmative nod and a smirk.
We'll remain here for right now, Antarius
No.
says. Everyone... Let me see here.
Are there any other like horn noises? Like is somebody like sounding the alert, looking for volunteers? Are people
No,
shouting?
It's just really quiet right now.
There's
Everybody is kind
seal
of in
clapping
shock.
noises.
You're seeing like the ship that nobody is on board. Like there is no one there. Like there's a
Well,
harpoon on the
I'm mainly asking because Tess hasn't seen that yet.
Oh right. No, it's like eerily quiet now. There was like the creaking and the ship just came to a stop. Now it's like just quiet.
But
Antarius-
but the people that are out there, like out in the front, like they can see the ship, and that it's like empty.
Yes. Yeah, everyone can clearly see now that the upper deck of the ship is empty. So Antarius says to you, Iolanthe, get the boarding party together, and we'll meet in the map room for a briefing.
All right.
At that, he sort of proceeds to his quarters, past you.
Iolanthe turns to Misku and is like, I don't know how to put together a boarding party.
Altheus, are you doing something here? I think you had a question earlier that I forgot about.
Well, I asked a question, but I would like to. I'm a seal, right?
Yes, you are still a seal.
Okay, splashy splash.
Okay, you're jumping overboard.
Yep.
Okay, so you
Swim over the boat.
Iolanthe, you and Misku see seal health sealus flop over the side of the deck with an and he like lands in the water.
She just kind of watches him flop over the side of the water like, I guess there's one.
All right, so we are out of time for the day. We'll pick up right there next time. I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in, and I hope that you enjoyed this session. Make sure to join us next week, 5 to 7 p.m. Central Time on the VG Punks channel. I hope everybody has a wonderful, wonderful rest of your week, and we'll see you next week. Until then, this is VG Punks, your most gracious DM, and I'm signing off. Keep a song in your heart.
Fire.
Bye.